I don't know why I keep using this music. This is what came with the mixer that I'm using, and I have no idea what it is, but and I'm sure there's license for us to use it, but I just kind of dig it. So what's going on, everybody? It's now September 30th, the last day of September 2021, and we're here broadcasting to you live from Cockeysville, Maryland, as always, on a Thursday night at 8 p.m. Every 8 p.m. we're doing coffee and cigars here on the onocoffee channel. So if you're tuning in live, thank you very much for being here. Really appreciate you spending another week with Thursday with me here. And if you're watching the replay, thank you very much for watching the replay. And if you're on the replay, if you have any questions for next week or any comments, drop them in the comments below. But if you're here with us tonight, let me know what you're drinking. Let me know what you're smoking. Let me know where you are. It's a pretty decent day here. It was pretty nice. I think we're now in the point where we're having 80 days and then maybe 60, 70, probably a low 70s at night. And at this time of year, after we've come off 90-degree weather, 70 feels really kind of cold. But if we were reversing this and we're coming out of the winter, 70 would be blazing, right? Isn't that the crazy thing? All right, so as you may have noticed, the orientation of my face on your screen is a little bit different today because I've moved the camera. I've changed the placement of the camera for tonight's live stream, just to a different setup. So typically I have it a little bit higher and behind the monitors on a shelf where, and now I've got it on this stand on the desk. And if you know those technical people, there's this thing called the what's it called? The switch pod. And it's sitting on the desk at kind of like face height. So I'm kind of looking directly at the lens, and it's only maybe 2 feet away from me, where it used to be like 3.5 feet. So it's a little bit different. It kind of messes with the lighting. It's really surprising how much that maybe 12 inches makes as far as the lighting setup. I mean, really the lighting in here there's no change to it. No, the lumens and the intensity I've kept the same. It's just the distance, and now the ISO that I'm using is different. So, yeah, so today's show we're going to be coffee and cigars. It's going to be coffeeing with the Hurricane coffee from Rusty's Hawaiian Ka'u in Hawaii. And then the smoking will be with the Farm Rolled series from the Privada Cigar Club. So I'm going to give you a chance later in the show, when we get to it, to be the ones to decide what cigar I'm going to smoke. All right? Okay, so we'll get into that when the time comes. But I guess we should get into the meat of things because, well, you know, it's that time. All right. Where are we now? We're going to go to... All right, so today's coffee is the Rusty's... Is the Rusty's Hawaiian Ka'u Hurricane Lane washed. And I think we've had this coffee on the show before. And this is basically in 2018, in the summer 2018, this hurricane called Lane came through Hawaii and was threatening to wipe out the entire island. Instead, it just kind of like put a lot of not snow, but a lot of rain and a lot of problems and, well, not too much problems, but a lot of rain and a little bit of destruction, not too much destruction. But basically, Laura Obra and her daughter Joan and Ralph were processing this coffee, and they had it in the wash tubs. And basically, the hurricane came and they ran away to safety, and then they came back after, and this is what happened. And I'm sure we featured this on the show before. The reason we have it again this evening is because I got an order for it this week from some guests online. And so, of course, if you want to buy coffee, we have it sprocoffee.com. So it's on here. And actually, let me show you. What's up, Brian? How's it going, man? We're going to show you here it is, the hurricane washed, blah, 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 blah. You can get it. 10% off, $13.50, huh? It's a subscription. It's all good. But anyway, so this is the coffee, and it's a really great coffee. It's one of my favorites. But I got an order for it this week, and so we roasted a bunch of it, and now I've got a little bit left over, so I thought we'd bring it to you guys. And so for today's, and so like you probably have noticed, or we've talked about it. So Rusty's Hawaiian Ka'u, run by Loy Obra, and her daughter Joan, whose mom, she's the mom of Rusty, right? So all of you know Rusty. And Tony says that coffee was amazing. I had it after your show the last time. Oh, yes, it's a fantastic coffee. And so all of you know, so since it was Rusty's mom and sister, I thought we'd do the AeroPress because Rusty competed last week or the week before in the AeroPress Championship. So this is an AeroPress. It's a pretty used one. Like this is mine, and we've used it for a lot. So we're going to get into that. As you can see, like here, or you can barely see it, the AeroPress is kind of worn out. Look at that. The logoing is kind of worn out. So, yeah. So, you know, we're serious. We're real. We're real serious about our coffee. We make real coffee here. So, again, let us review. We've got the AeroPress, which is a big, like, syringe type coffee brewer. It's designed by a guy named Alan Adler, who eventually made the Aero ring, and you used to throw it in like a frisbee, but better, right? And so he got into coffee. So in 2005, he created this and released it to the market. And ever since, it's garnered a, you know, kind of like a cult following. Nah, not even a cult following. I guess it's a mainstream following now. And so I've been using AeroPress pretty much since it came out. Like in 2006, I started probably getting into it. And, you know, I actually have a bunch of them around here somewhere, and really old ones, like ones where the plunger, this plunger here is all like gummed up, and like one of them I don't think I can even get out of can separate them because it's so like, you know, crazy. Oh, Hansel, Tony, what's going on, man? How are you guys doing? Welcome from NYC. How are things? Having any Voss water tonight? Not too much Voss. Don't get too much Voss. Just stay with Dasani. And so it's two pieces, goes together, right? And we're going to take our coffee. And, I forgot the funnel. Oh, well, that's all right. We're professionals here, so we can do it without the funnel. So you're going to take the coffee. So I've got the Rusty's Hurricane coffee here. And I'm just going to pour it in. So that gives us quite a bit. Sometimes I forget certain items, like the light that I normally have here. It's floating around here somewhere. Anyway, so I've got a flashlight. We'll see if we can get. So you can see here there's a bit of coffee here. We're using about 30 grams today. And basically, we're also going to need our bamboo stirrer. This is actually the stirrer that I've been using with this for a long time. That's why it's all brownish, all stained. And Hansel says their smoking cigars are Arturo Fuente and Tatuaje. Excellent choices. Excellent choices. Those are some fantastic. Actually, I've been smoking a lot of Tatuaje this last couple of days. I belong to their Saints and Sinners program, and so in the Saints and Sinners program, the membership, you get 15 cigars a year, so 3 5-packs of cigars. And so I usually smoke the first 5-pack early on when you get them. So I think we usually get them like about now, like sometime October, November. And then I still have 10, so I smoked the last 5-pack this past 2 weeks. Good stuff. Good stuff. Although the last one I had was the number 5, which is the Connecticut wrapped, the Connecticut shade, and I wasn't grooving with it. It kind of got this bitterness that was just very unpleasant to me over the last, just on that last. So like you, Brian and Tony, when we were all smoking the other night, that last like 2 inches, I was just pretty much unhappy. Oh, Brian's having a small Mil Diaz, and Tatuaje, and Tony says Tatuaje is always a good choice. Typically always a great choice. Just once in a while you get into with a cigar that just doesn't groove with you. All right, so we also have our filter holder, right? And the filter holder is called thus because it holds a paper filter, right? So the paper filter goes in here. And then we will typically pre-rinse that, but I don't really have any place to pre-rinse, so we're not going to worry too much about it. Plus, my testing has shown that you don't have to pre-rinse bleach paper filters because there is no, they do not impart flavors. And Hansel saying, pick them up from Davidoff World Financial. Oh, you guys are fancy. Davidoff at the World Financial Center, man. You know what I want to go down to the World Financial Center for? And not even really there, but right close to that, there's a place that I really like to go to called Korin, Korin. And I go there. Actually, I try not to go there, but I like to go there. But they have like a wonderful selection of Japanese knives. And I've been really thinking about these Japanese knives lately. There's this particular one. What is it called? Hyut? I can't remember the name of it at the moment. But basically, it's design. It's a wedge. It's a hard, like, wedge shape that's really just for deboning chicken. Like, I've been obsessing about it for like a year now. And Sarah says smoking tobacco is bad because it causes lung cancer and heart disease. Please quit now if you smoke, but if you don't smoke, don't ever start. Well, that's probably true. However, it's too late for us, Sarah. I do like your Star Trek badge, though. Have you been watching the, what is it called? The Lower Decks? I've been watching Lower Decks lately. It's always a good time. Beckett Mariner and her compatriots are always in some kind of trouble. So, yes. All right, so now we're going to be preparing our coffee. I'm going to transfer the water from the brew kettle, the boiling kettle. And as you can see, it's all steamy because it's freshly brewed, right? It's fresh, it's real. We're not pretending. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add. Let me make it so you can see. Here's the thing: when you're making the AeroPress, like a lot of these brewing devices, you spend a lot of time measuring, weighing, and all that kind of thing. But with the AeroPress, you don't really need to do that because you have a finite amount of space, right? A limited amount of space, and that's it. And we're making for a volume that we're making that's much larger than this, right? So we're making a 12-ounce cup like usual. Now we're also using and if you follow the show a lot, you'll remember that we normally do 2 grams for every ounce. Now we're doing less. We're doing just a little bit more because of the method that we're using. So Brian's saying, I keep cutting out. Is it me? Well, there, on my end at least, I am not seeing anything that's cutting out, although I would like to know if we are. Let me know if you're having some trouble receiving the broadcast, and I'll see if I can figure out something. But other than that, I'll just continue. So now we're going to take our water, and we're just going to put it in here, pour it in here, making sure that all of the coffee is getting hydrated, right? So we'll bring it right about there. Now we're going to have some blooming. Now I did roast this coffee this morning, like around 9 o'clock, between 9 and 10. So as you can see, it's really starting to, you really can't see that too much, but as you can see, it's starting to get, look at this. Can you see it? Maybe you can see it this way. Look at that. It's starting to come to the top. It might come to the top completely, so I should be careful with that. But anyway, so we got that, and so we're gonna stir. We're bringing it down and stirring. And we're going to stir for about 90 seconds. Oh, Mark's saying that there are no problems on his end. So it could just be some kind of connection problem, Brian, wherever you are. I'm going to add a little bit more. Stirring. So it's pretty simple, right? Stirring. Now we're done. You know, I've been doing this now for 62 episodes. And every week, I still haven't thought about, where am I going to put the stuff after I'm finished? Go figure. All right, so we got the cap on. And this is what we call the inverted method, because typically the way that Alan Adler specified to make it, you make it the other way by separating the two halves, putting the filter on, adding the coffee, adding the water, and then plunging. However, we find that the liquid starts to come through the filter, and we want to contain that and get more even extraction. All right, so now we're going to put this here like this, as you can see, so that and then turn it over with a lot of finesse. Now you can see an air gap, right? There's an air gap right here. We're just going to press, and we're not going to press too hard. We're just giving it a nice gentle press. Like you see a lot of people, and they're like doing all kinds of leveraging, and they look like their biceps are bulging, and they're going kind of crazy. But we don't do that. We have finesse, and there's going to be a noise, like a hissing noise. Oh, I didn't hear it. I think I didn't let enough air remain. I think I was too gentle. I was too nuanced. Okay, so that's pretty much it, right? So when you pick it up, right, it's gonna like spill. So you wanna tilt it slightly, right? And let the liquid that's at the bottom of the filter just kind of, or the bottom of the filter cap, just kind of glide off so you don't have so much mess. And then turn it over. I like to pull back just slightly to give it a little space so it's not putting some pressure on there. So I can now put this on the side like this, and I'll leave it here on the side for the remainder of the show without it leaking and without it dripping everywhere. Okay, so now here we are. We have our liquid, and this is a concentrated brew, right? So we're going to add, this is for 350 mils. So right about there, we're going to add water to bring the total volume. Or we could, you know what we could do? We could taste it a little bit just to see what it's like. I'm going to use our snifter, this fancy Riedel snifter, because, we're fancy and this is fancy coffee. Ooh, it's quite intense. All right, so we're going to add water. We're going to make it 300 mils. And then we're going to put that into our cup. We've got our nice little... we got our fancy cup here. This is the Bodum cup. I've been talking about, like, I need to find another one, a different cup to use that's clear, and I found these in storage today as I was moving stuff to the new annex. Look at that. It's all fancy. Actually, I don't think I've ever used these. This will be the first time I've ever drank out of these. I've probably had these cups for a good, like, I don't know, 15 years? And Hansel's saying, make it a mission to get that Sans-Pareil torpedo from. Thanks to George Ridgewood, top nine. Oh, yeah, that Sans-Pareil is definitely a lovely, lovely, lovely. And finish off with that smooth call. Oh, yes. And Brian's asking, how's Rusty doing? Rusty's doing well. He actually messaged me earlier. He said that he had some kind of parent-teacher conference or something, and that he was going to come join us probably around 9 o'clock as he drives home. All right, so here's the coffee. Oh, medium bodied, nice, round. Smooth, very smooth. This one has kind of hints of, like, maybe a little bit of papaya. It definitely has that. There's this character of papaya that, as much as I may like to eat papaya, there's this particular character of the papaya that feels soft on my palate. I don't really like that aspect of papaya. Actually, it's the part of papaya that I dislike the most. But this has that. So it gives you a very papaya-ish character in that respect. O'Brien says, I wanted to know how he felt about you doing the press. Well, he is the champion. He is the champion. So he probably will not approve. All right. So, not bad. Not bad. A good way to start the show. Here we are. What is it now? All right. So next up is our cigar time. We're going to get into the cigar, and so we can have it with the coffee. So, what was it? Maybe a month or so? No, maybe 2 months ago, and I think it was during the show, I learned about that Privada Cigar Club, right? And the Privada Cigar Club, let's look it up here. Here it is. The Privada Cigar Club is this cigar club that started in 2017 by this guy, Seth. Seth, is that right, Seth? And he basically has this club where you pay so much money. Let's have a look. You pay what? Where's the club part? It's sold out, I believe. Oh, there's a monthly box, $26.99 a month. And you get 3 cigars. 3 cigars? Oh, yeah, this is sold out. 3 cigars or 4 cigars. And they send it to you monthly. And that sounded kind of interesting. And then as we were on the show talking about it the last time, I saw this farm rolled for $20 a month. So I thought, you know what? Let me just sign up for that and give it a try. So I did. And so it turns out to be $26 a month because I guess there's $6 for the, I just saw it on my bank card statement, 26. But I guess it's $6 for shipping. There's extra for shipping, which is fine, actually. And so for $26, you get 4 cigars, unbanded, unlabeled. So $6 a stick. And they're all different, and they're all something that I may not have tried previously. And Tony says we wanted to know if my skills were up to snuff. Well, probably not. Probably not. And so this is now the 2nd month that I've been involved. So they send you this bag, right? There's the bag, just like they say, just like it shows in the picture. Farm rolled. And there's 4 cigars. And so like here's my sheet from last month. Whoops. So they send you this sheet. And it's on the front here. It has some information about the cigars. On the back sheet, they have a place for you to review your cigars. I only wrote 2 of them. I forgot to write the rest. So last month we had cigars from the La Zona factory by Humberto Garcia Alayon and his son Carlos Alberto Garcia. And I guess they work with Eric Espinoza, and they made, some cigars. And so they had 4. And they were pretty good. They were pretty good. Like a couple of them were like all about the power. And so I wasn't terribly thrilled with those. Sometimes these cigars, they go for so much power that they lack the nuance and balance. But I get it. People are into that. No problem. So this month, they sent this. And the farm spotlight is Aganorsa. So Eduardo Fernandez and Max and the people from TABSA, with that make all the cigars. They make Illusione, they make Warped, they make a lot. We know. I can't remember. Anyway, Paul Palmer works with them and runs things, and that was where, anyway, good. So we're going to try this. So here's this, Farm Spotlight, Aganorsa, one of Central America's largest tobacco growers, owned by Eduardo, this is what this says on the paper, owned by Eduardo Fernandez and his son Max, and creator of Telepizza, Spain's largest pizza chain. After becoming worth hundreds of millions of dollars, Eduardo Fernandez returned to the roots of his Cuban ancestry. He went on a mission to find the most fertile soil for growing tobacco outside of Cuba. Then import Cuban legends like Arsenio Ramos. It just says Arsenio. Why don't they have Ramos? Arsenio Ramos. To bring their knowledge and wisdom from the most famous tobacco fields in the world to Nicaragua. Blenders, mentors, farmers, all the best of the best made a new home for themselves in Nicaragua. Aganorsa leaf is named for the tobacco leaf grown on their farm. With tradition, with love, with passion, their strength is in their leaf. Nice. All right, so there are 4 cigars. And let's see here. So it's called farm rolled, right? I'm not really sure why they call it farm rolled. No one's rolling at the farm. Like, you're not going to Oliva and like seeing them rolling at the farm. You know, there's a whole pre-industry that has to happen, you know, fermentation, all that stuff. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So we have 4 cigars. So the first one, let me open this up here, because I'm going to let you guys choose which one we should go with. Whoa. The nice thing about it, it comes with a little Boveda. And it's not too crunchy. So at least it's nice, everything's nice and fresh. All right, so here's the first one. The first one has a little label on it called Ultra Premium. And the Ultra Premium is known as, it's from TABSA, of course. It's a Corojo 99. I'm presuming this means the wrapper. It's a 5x50 cigar. And the taste, so the tasting notes are leather, earth, coffee, hay, berry. And their designation for, you know, they have a little designation here for like afternoon, evening, morning, noon. I guess kind of giving you a feel for when you should have it. So this is the Ultra Premium number 1, Corojo 99, Robusto, leather, earth, coffee, hay, and berry. The number 2 is what they call the Boutique. And the number 2 is a Maduro, also 5x50, Robusto, with notes of hazelnuts, floral, barnyard, red pepper. And they note it as an evening cigar. The number 3 is what they call the limited edition. Oh, there we go. This is a Connecticut wrapper, 5x50, also Robusto sized, with notes of vanilla, coffee, and almonds. And they say it's a morning smoke. Finally, the 4th one is considered the Exclusivo. Oh, exclusive. I can only see it when it's magnified now. Terrible. And this is also from TABSA. It's 6x50, so slightly thicker ring gauge than the other ones, right? This has the Habano wrapper. No real origin, but Habano. Nuts, pepper, spice, cream, and wood. And they note this as a noontime cigar. All right, so there it is. 4 different cigars. I'm gonna leave it up to you guys to decide which one I should smoke tonight, right now, right here in front of you. We have the number 1, Ultra Premium, the Boutique, the Limited, and the Exclusive. So drop your comments down below. Let me know what you think, which one we should go with. 1, 2, 3, or 4. I have to remember there's also a delay between the time that I'm talking and the time that it actually reaches your devices. Ooh, look at this one. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The number 4 is not... Oh, yeah, 6x50. Oh, yeah, 6x50. Yeah, so it's longer. So Brian says the Ultra. Tony says the Corojo 99 one, which is the number 1. Oh, that's also the Ultra. Hansel says the Evening, which is the Maduro. All right, where's that one? Number 2. All right, so we got down to 2 at the moment. Ultra Premium Boutique. This is the Corojo 99, and this is the Maduro. Maduro what? I don't know what. Maduro Corojo 99, who knows? The Maduro. right. Any other votes? Any other votes? All right, Hansel, we're going to go with the one that had the more votes. So that's the number one, the Ultra Premium. Sorry, Hansel. Next week we'll give you a chance. I'm going to put these away with their Boveda so that it's all that we can preserve for another time. All right, so that's really it. Leather, earth, coffee, hay, berry is what we're going to be expecting. Will it deliver? Now, here's one of the things that, before I start on this, is that I don't really know if the idea behind these farm rolled is really for anonymity and for you to be totally surprised. But like, when you already know that this is made by Aganorsa, like you already have, there's already an expectation. Like, okay, we're expecting a level of quality already. So if it's really good, it's not really a great surprise. It's not like it's really a surprise because, well, they make good cigars. So how would it not be good? All right. So let's have a look. Silky kind of feeling wrapper. Oh, you can still see my eyes. That's what it is. Silky feeling. Look, it's a nice feeling wrapper. Look at that little bit of, not really, a little slight vein there. Brian says doesn't like to finish his eating with a barnyard. Hansel thinks it's a win-win all the way around. But it does feel nice. There's that nice silky, slight oiliness to it, right? That feels really nice. It's a light barnyard. A light barnyard kind of smell. All right, let's not waste too much time on this barnyardiness. All right, we're going to cut. All right, there it is. The cut has happened. You know, at this distance, the camera seems to be performing much better. Eric says he likes a slight oiliness. Yes, yes. It does have a very slight oiliness to it that's really, really nice. All right, let's have a taste. Huh. There's like a sweetness to it and like a yellow mustardiness to it. And Tony asks, what is a barnyard? So, you know, if a barnyard is more like the smell of a barnyard, like manure, but not necessarily like, not like manure when you're taking a dump, you know, and you just kind of like, oh my God, that smells horrible. But that kind of sweet manure kind of smell when you're at a farm, that kind of thing. Well, it actually sounds not very pleasant. It doesn't. But really, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a positive thing. Brian says Maduro characteristics included barnyard. That is correct. That is correct. There's no real barnyard supposedly in this TABSA, at least the tasting notes here. It says leather, earth, coffee, hay, berry. Again, I always have a hard time finding these coffee notes. I don't know if it's because I'm so biased about coffee or I'm tasting the coffee at the same time that I'm smoking the cigar, so I'm not really looking for matching coffee flavors. I'm looking for something outside of the coffee flavor, right? All right, so let us move on to the light. Still doing the Davidoff matches because, oh no, I have one left. Can we light in one? Let's see. All right, here we go. Look at that, like a pro, like a boss, like a cigar boss, like a jefe de tobaccos, jefe de puros. Oh, it's still burning. All right, all right. Here we are, here we are. Is Sarah still with us? Did she leave already? It's always nice when there's a lady around. Hansel saying Davidoff is handing out wooden Camacho wooden matches. Oh, nice, man, nice. Are they the same length and style, or are they a little bit different? So Hansel, are you guys in Tony's backyard? I'm still looking forward to coming up to the city and having a smoke in that dope backyard, man. That is just, that's got to be one of the best places in the city from what I've ever seen. I was like, man, beautiful, beautiful. And the head says, Davidoff is, oh, wait, we already saw that. Okay, good. So it's starting off with a bit of bitterness. I'm not getting a lot of different flavors out of it. It's just kind of this general sense of tobacco, a bit of bitterness on the tongue. Not entirely unpleasant, but not exactly the balance, the spicy symphony that I always like to have. Hansel says, yes, it's in a round container with the strike on the back. Ooh, kind of like a cigar case feel. Oh, nice. Are they charging for them, or are they just giving them away? And if they're charging, what do they charge? Oh, yeah, baby. Soon, 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 soon. Normally, in October, I would come up there because of the Star Chefs conference, but I don't think that's not happening, because otherwise they would have called me about it. But that's not happening. That hasn't happened for 2 years. Actually, the Specialty Coffee Association's trade show is happening right now. Started today in New Orleans. I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but I was planning to go. I was planning on going. I'd reserved my hotel room way back in like June. And Hotels.com charged my card for the $1,000 that it was for a couple days. Ridiculous. They said that they wouldn't charge it. Then they charged it. I was like, oh, whatever. At least it's paid. Then they canceled it like a week or two ago, and so they refunded my money. So I got mad money in the bank account at the moment. All right, so here we are, starting out the burn. All right, look at that. A little bit uneven. I don't think I've been pulling on it too hard. That's partly why I'm getting a little bit of that bitterness, that kind of like unpleasant start, because it's just burning unevenly. Oh, so Davidoff is giving away the matches with the product. Excellent, excellent. Of course, you're buying a cigar from them. It's $30, and so have you guys tried the Davidoff cigars at Davidoff? I mean, the Davidoffs, you get a good Davidoff, man. It's really, really solid of smoke. Really, really solid. Yeah, see how it's burning strangely right there. There's a little bit of a hot spot right there. I think I should stop for a moment and try to see if it'll balance out. That's what I'm going to do. In the meantime, let's go to the mailbag. I finally went to my post office box today after like not going there for well over a month. Actually, so long I hadn't been there that my box had expired, and they actually changed the locks on me. I was like, oh, that's terrible. All right, so here's this box. Look at this. Let's see what's inside here. I already cut open the door. I kind of know what's inside already. So I've had these. So it's from Maui Jim. and they sent some paperwork, some invoices, and a little note from Maui Jim saying thank you very much. We truly appreciate you choosing Maui Jim sunglasses. Please find your repaired sunglasses enclosed. We think our customers are no ka'oi, or the best. No ka'oi means the best in Hawaiian. We hope that you continue to enjoy your Maui Jim sunglasses. You know what? Here's the thing, right? Oh, look at this case. Actually, this case, look at this. Look, it's all super thin and small. This is the best case I've ever seen from them. Like, when I first got these glasses, like years and years ago, they gave us this case. This big zippered case was massive, and God knows you don't want to carry that. Now, this is something I would carry. So look at that, it folds over. Here it is. These are the, which ones are these? Which models are these? So these glasses were given to me, I think, by my brother and sister-in-law years ago. So this is called the Rose Ho'okipa Tortoise. So tortoise shell frames and the Ho'okipa style with rose tinted glasses, lenses. So pretty stuff. So every once in a while, I break off one of the arms. And so I send this in, and for $13, they replace it. I don't know if they replace the part or if they replace the entire thing. But they pretty much send it back, and it's like new. Oh, yeah. There we are. Maybe I should just continue the show with this. Although, is there a sticker on here? Because there's something in my eye frame. Oh, that's my finger smudge. Thank you very much. So Tony says, only Davidoff Special 21 we enjoyed the cigar in. Ah, okay. But you got to try them. You got to try the Davidoff ones. Then Tony says he loves the Maui Jim's polarized lenses. You know, I do like them. The only problem is, like, for example, right now, right this moment, so in front of me, there's two screens, right? There's two screens. There is an MSI and a Dell. They're both 27 inches, and the MSI has some kind of coating because I can barely see the screen now. It's kind of occluded. The screen on my camera is completely black. So they say that if you're a pilot, you cannot, the FAA does not allow you to wear polarized lenses because I think on the screens, you can't see them. And the last thing you want a pilot of an aircraft to not do is see the instrumentation. But once in a while, I'll be doing something with these glasses over the years, and I'll find something that's polarized, like the dashboard, and I can't see how fast we're going. Who knows? What does it matter anyway? Just keep on pressing down the gas. Tony says, mine have a big coconut husk-looking case with a bag and lanyard. Yeah, too big to carry. Some of those, they're cool ideas, but, you know, some of them just too big. This one, I think this is definitely on the right track. Look at that. This is something I could definitely carry along with me and even travel with. Although I don't normally travel with nice sunglasses. I have these cheap $10 sunglasses that I travel with because if I lose it, man, not too bad. Then it won't be too bad. But if I lose these, oh my gosh, I'll cry. George says, what's up? How are you doing, George? Welcome to the show. I love my Maui Jims. Yes, they're fantastic. Now they're fantastic. Eric says, I look like a boss. Thank you. Thank you for finally realizing it. And how was the pasta? It looked really delicious. So Eric had dinner with Marco, and Marco, of course, from Italy, making like crazy looking Italian food. Although I'm pretty sure that someone like Marco just calls it food, not Italian food. These are like the Neo-style glasses, aren't they? By the way, did you see the new Matrix Resurrection trailers? If you haven't, I think you should go see it. Okay, so the burn is kind of crazy right now. But if you haven't seen it, go see it because it looks awesome. Like, it looks crazy. And from what little that I've read about it, and because, you know, he was called Mr. Anderson in the original series, right? I think in the trailer they call him Tom. So this, I'm presuming that this resurrection is the Matrix rebooted. So after Neo caused the crash in the last series, they rebooted, and it took 20 years for it to get back to this point, and Neo's still plugged into the Matrix because I guess they took him back and plugged him in, and now they're doing it all over again. Oh, it's crazy. Plus, it's hard to imagine, like 20 years ago, there was no phone. Like, there's no iPhones then. There's no smartphones. The internet is completely different than it is now. I mean, like, we have such a whole different world than we did in '99. So I am terribly excited to see this new Matrix. I think it'd be amazing, amazing. And Dice says, well, he needs a Nokia to complete the look. Come on, man. They're no longer 1999. This is like 2021. They're going all the way. They're going all the way. So Eric says it was Gramigna. Is that right? Gramigna. And it was freaking awesome. He brought the ingredients from Italy. Oh, God. Amazing. And Tony says it's very good, but the Bond trailer is giving it a run for its money. Yes. That Bond trailer, that Bond, I've been waiting for Bond. I am planning to go spend the money to go see it in the theater. Like, I haven't even seen Shang-Chi, but I'm going to go see Bond because I'm a Bond guy. I love Bond. I'm totally interested to see what happens with Léa Seydoux and Daniel Craig. Like, what is this big secret that Rami Malek, that Freddie Mercury is trying to steal from them? And then you add Ana de Armas. Oh my God, man! Enough already! That's just too much. It's too much. I can't do it, Dolly. I can't do it anymore. So Gramigna. Okay, good, Gramigna. Yeah, man. I don't know when they said it was coming out. When did they say that was coming out? Okay, I got to take these off because now I'm going to look at the other lens, other monitor, and I can't see a darn thing on it. Let us see. Matrix Resurrection. Release date December 22nd. So right before Christmas, it'll be time for Resurrection. And Bond comes out on October 8th, next week. So, looking forward to that. Actually, they just had the world premiere, I think recently. And then at some point, speaking of Keanu Reeves, at some point, they're going to have John Wick. I think John Wick is already finished also. John Wick 4 is coming out. Oh, still a while. May 27th. Too long there, Keanu. All right, this cigar, still burning, kind of like, still struggling with the burn. It's still struggling. Look at that. Like, I'm tempted to touch it, and I'm going to touch it. Forget it. I'm not just tempted. I'm going to do it. Di says, I'd make a great Bond villain. Man, I want to be Bond. I should be the Bond. They need chubby Asian Bond. If Idris Elba can be Bond, so can the chubby Asian guy. That's my belief. Waiting to see Astor. Oh, yes, absolutely. I was in London in 2014 with one of my really close friends, and he owns a DB6, and so we were at this shop that where he was getting his DB6 worked on, and this is like an Aston shop. Like, these guys specialize in like the DB series, and there was a couple fives around, but they had a DB2, which is cool looking car, you know. And he was the shop owner was like, you know, it was nice because he I guess he presumed that I'm at the same level as my friend, you know, which I'm not. Like, I'm nowhere near that level. But he was like, well, if you're interested in the DB2, we can certainly arrange that for you. I was like, yeah, it's only $225. I was like, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that offer. I'll have to think about it. And George says, Odd Job was the best Bond villain. Yes, Odd Job was definitely a great Bond villain. And Derek's asking, what I recommend this. You know, I think, like normally in the show, it's a little bit too early to determine. Like, we're still like in the first third, right? It's struggling, but you know, let's see before we. I could be the next Odd Jib, but just to get the bowler hat. That could be good. That could be good too. What I didn't really like was when Jonathan Pryce was the villain in the, what was that called? The World Is Not Enough. Is that World Is Not Enough? No. Tomorrow Never Dies. I mean, I just had such a difficult time with Jonathan Pryce's, you know, I'm a media mogul. Like, he's got his kind of precursor to the iPad, and he's wandering around like, I'm a media mogul, and I'm going to destroy the world. I was like, I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all. I mean, I like Bond, but that's just ridiculous. And then what's the one with Sean Bean, when Sean Bean was against, he was what, 009 or something? I like that one. Eric says he's looking to replace the dog-turned crowd heads. Oh, which one did you get? And George says Terry Hatcher. Oh, yeah, Terry Hatcher. Terry Hatcher was never a disappointment. Chris Walken. But, you know, the thing is, I like Christopher Walken, and that particular movie, you know, the theme song was Duran Duran, which was my favorite band when I was young. So there's so many things that I wanted to like about that movie, but I think that was probably one of the more, for me personally, I thought that was one of the more disappointing Bonds. Of course, I haven't seen it in years. One of my favorites, though, was the second Timothy Dalton one, License to Kill, because, and I know a lot of people didn't like that one, but I really liked it because his Bond was like dark, especially in that movie. Like, he was dark and angry, and just was like out there to kill people. And it was like, oh, that's Bond. That's a hella good Bond. You know, like, especially after so many years of like kind of funny, happy, campy Bond with Roger Moore. And don't get me wrong, I grew up with Roger Moore, so to me, Roger Moore is James Bond. My father and I used to argue about that a little bit. Like, he was like, well, Sean Connery's better. I was like, well, I don't think so. But, of course, I didn't know Sean Connery's Bond because all I had was Roger Moore. But to see Timothy Dalton, like, get this really dark, I thought that was really good. And then Tony says Samuel Jackson did that in Kingsman. Well, he did which one? The Darkness? But I did like, I like Kingsman. I like Kingsman a lot. I didn't like the second Kingsman as much. I really liked the first Kingsman. The second one, that was okay with the Mandalorian guy. The third one is coming out soon, right? The King's Man? Or the King's Men? So Eric says, you had a guy on here who recommended them back in the summer. I was not impressed. Oh. I'm surprised. You know, usually crown heads are usually pretty decent, I think. Overall. George says, I agree. Roger Moore was like 60 with Chris. Yeah, he was getting a little bit older. Yeah, it was. I think that was definitely when he was, you know, he was probably like Daniel Craig is now. Like, okay, I want to transition out. Oh, and Grace Jones, always a please, always a crowd pleaser. Did you ever hear her song that she released in the 80s called Nightclubbing? It's one of my favorite tracks. Really, really cool groove. I really dig it. So the cigar, it's tighter. The draw is tight. Not too tight, but on the tighter side. So it's a little bit of an effort to draw. The flavors are still that kind of tobacco, maybe a little bit of the barnyard. But am I getting, so it says here, leather, earth, coffee, hay, berry. Definitely I would not say any berry. Coffee, like I said, I can't really tell. Hay and leather and earth could be kind of that barnyard-ish sensation that I'm getting. But it's taking a bit of an effort to draw. So the smoke feels a little bit of warm now on the tip of my tongue, of my tongue. Mayday, just love Walkins. May. Yeah, like right here, feels a bit warm right there, like right here, right in here. A little bit, oh man, that's hot. It's getting hot right there. So I think it's having some strange burning. So this is made by Aganorsa, and it's a Corojo 99 wrapper, 5x50 Robusto. Other than that, that's all that I know about it. Yeah, the flavor, there's maybe a sharpness now on the tongue. Maybe the hurricane will balance it out. There's a nice sweetness with that hurricane. All right, let's take a moment on this one. And let's see what else we got. We had 3 packages this week. So this one, I got this one. I don't know what this is. Like, I'm receiving packages and I don't remember ordering them. Like today. Well, actually, I remember this one, but today the FedEx guy comes up to me. Is this the right address? And I was like, oh, yeah, this is the right address. And he had my heater. So I got a new Mr. Heater 30,000 BTU. Okay, so what do we have in here? Oh, what is this? Oh, I thought it was a Star Trek. Oh, it's Lotus Group. Ah, here we are. Look, last week we talked about the Satan Sinners and the lighter, or the whatever it was. July 2021. Oh, God, this is from July? Oh, yeah. This is July 12th. Look at this. It's been in my mailbox at the P.O. box since July. I'm really bad at checking mail. So the Lotus Group. Hello, Saints and Sinners member. Please let me introduce myself, Rosemary Sharp from the Lotus Group. Hi, Rosemary. Several months ago, you received a cutter manufactured by us. A partial amount of the cutters were defective. We were quite upset over this unfortunate situation, and since we had no way of knowing who from the club received the defective cutters, we decided to send every member a new cutter. Well, that's really nice. On behalf of all the Lotus staff, we would like to thank Tatawai and you as a member for your support throughout this process. You are all solid citizens. Well, thank you. Finally, somebody's recognizing that. And it is not lost on us how patient you've been. All the best, Rosemary Sharp. President, the Lotus Group. Oh, Tamarack, Florida. Oh, thank you, Rosemary. All right, let's see. Ooh, little happiness comes in the mail. Okay, so they sent it in a little padded bag, and in this like carbon fiber-esque pouch. Might have been nice in a box, but whatever. There it is, Saints and Sinners. On the back is this. I know some of you remember, so this is no surprise to you. If I had only known this was a big, I would have used it for the show. So this is the Lotus Cutter by the Saints and Sinners, and whoa! Oh yeah, you press this. There's a little button here on the top. I guess that releases, and then you put the cigar in. And there's a back plate, so you can only put so much. So you can't like cut off too much of your cigar, and then you just kind of press the two together, and oh, nice. All right, excellent, excellent. All right, thanks, Pete. Thanks, Rosemary. Happy to get another cutter. This is all like heavy. It's like heavy. Like, oh man, you hurt yourself. Just short of calling a patriot. Well, God, you know, I am. Thank you very much. I am. I'm a big patriot. All right, let's see how the cigar's doing. I put it down so that we'd have a little bit of time for it to come back. Still lit. That's a good sign. How's the imaging, by the way? Tonight's imaging, is the picture quality better? On my end, it looks a lot better. Like I said in the early part of the show, I've actually changed the position of the camera for tonight's live stream just to see how it would turn out. Oh, you know what? That's that moment to like put it down, let it smoothen out. It has caused it to smoothen out. All right, let's see if we can go. Let's one more, last piece. Ooh, this is some kind of fabric-y from a place called Order Fulfillment, The Unique Styles, Lawrence, Indiana. What is this? Okay, let's get into it. Yes, but when you lean back, you become blurry. Let me see. I lean back. Am I still blurry? Am I blurry? Or maybe I'm blurry when we're using this feature, right? So if I put this here, it holds it, and then I'm blurry now. Yeah. That could be what could be it. Okay, so the sharpness is coming back again. So if I smoke at it, I guess the more you smoke it, that sharpness maintains. But if you let it sit for a while, like when we were looking at the lighter, it smoothens out. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, it's a gray shirt. Oh, look at this. Did I buy this? I might have bought this. I don't recall. Or did somebody buy this for me? Look at this. This is the Brasserie Les Halles Manhattan t-shirt. Oh, nice. Nice. Well, right on. Did I buy that? Maybe I did. I don't remember. When did this come in? Does it have a date? 7/9/2020. Man, I really need to like check my box more often. All right, I got new dope clothing to wear from the Les Halles, Manhattan. Good times. I only went there. I mean, I went there quite a few times, but that wasn't the one that I went to the most. The one, of course, we went to the most was the one in D.C. But they had some things at the Manhattan, the Park Avenue location that they did not offer in DC. Not the steak au poivre. That I think they had that because I only got the onglet. I only got the hanger steak. That's pretty much all I got. Hanger steak. Oh, well, we start out with appetizer would be something like what the steak tartare. then the onglet. That was pretty much, and then we have something else. I don't know what, but the dessert. But the dessert. So one of the things that Manhattan had that I really loved was, for dessert they had coconut ice cream, and whatever, I don't know if they made it in-house or they brought it in, but whatever coconut ice cream they had, man, I love that stuff. That was so good. I just need to have more of that. And Tony says, if only you were using their new iPhone 13 Pro with the cinematic camera. I have to admit, after we looked at the some of the imaging a couple weeks ago, it's been on the back of my mind. Maybe I should get that 13 Pro. But do I want to spend another $1,300 on a phone? I'm actually watching an auction right now for these cameras. So Sony makes a line of cameras called the Cine Alta, and these are like true cinema cameras. And these cameras were used to shoot like episodic television, like The Big Bang Theory was used, where they used these cameras. So there's two models. There's the F5 and the F55. And I found a place where they're auctioning them, and the auction doesn't end for another week. And they start out like at ridiculous prices, like $125. And slowly it's growing. It's growing. Like right now it's at $655. You can get these cameras used for $6,000. So the possibility of getting a camera is pretty good at a good price. So, but I haven't been engaging in the auction. I've just been watching. Like I've been watching like like at night before I go to bed. I'm obsessing about it. Like I'm like on the internet site looking at like, has the price changed? Has the price changed? And they've got all this like AV gear. They've got all this gear. Like they've got like not just the Cine Altas. They have 3 Cine Altas, so you can get 3 of them. But they've got a lens kit for it. So like, I think it's like 8 or 9 lenses, all primed, all Sony Cine Alta primes. Really amazing stuff. And then they've got a couple like, they've got the Canon C500, the C100 Mark II. And you know, if you can get these at the right price, man, these are steals in cameras. There's Rusty. Hey, what's up, Rusty? Evening, gents. Late to the party, driving home. Keep you awake. Absolutely. So, since you only joined us now, I am drinking your mom's coffee, the Hurricane Wash coffee from 2018. Sweet and lovely. And then we're smoking from the Privada Cigar Club farm rolled membership pack. I'm smoking the #1 cigar, the Corojo 99. The guys like voted on it, then this is what we're smoking. And it's been a bit of a struggle. It's been a bit of a struggle. But not bad. Like it's going between, like now it's smoking smoothly, but this is a cigar, I think, that smokes smoothly, but I've had to be really slow about smoking it. How'd the meetings go? Good? So we know what Tony and Hansel are smoking. How about the rest of you guys? What are you guys smoking tonight? And are you guys inside or outside? Any libations with you? Anything going on in the world? What's been happening this week? I have actually been here at the roastery this whole week. I have really not left this area, like this area that the roastery's in, this entire week. Like tomorrow I have to make deliveries for customers, so I'll leave. And I'm also thinking about getting my hair cut finally. It's getting kind of long, right? And the farthest I've gone, we went to Bud's house. What was that? Saturday, Sunday? Saturday. That's the farthest I've gone all week, was on Saturday. to Timonium, which is like maybe, what, 2-3 miles away? Which has saved quite a bit on gas. And now the gas is $3.09 a gallon for the cheap stuff. And Di says, regarding the mail, you hear USPS is slowing down the service. Tomorrow is the last day. Expect mail. Oh, I didn't know about that. Is there a reason why they're slowing down? You know, I don't really, for the most part, I don't really worry too much about the speed of the mail. I know my mail carriers. I know the guys at the post office really well. Some of the guys at the post office have been there for like 30 years. So, I mean, I've known them since I've lived in the area. But I never tend to worry about that. Like, even with the few times that I do order on Amazon, like, everybody's like Prime. What's that, free 2-day shipping with Prime or something like that, or whatever it is? Like, I never joined Prime because I think it's just too much money. And, you know, if you ever notice, and if you have Prime, why would you notice this? But if you're not a Prime member, you've noticed that there's different shipping options. You can join Prime for a 30-day free trial and get free shipping. You can pay for shipping, fast shipping, at different tiers. And then there's usually another tier called free shipping. But you have to wait 5 to 8 days to get your package. I tend to buy from Amazon. Excuse me. I tend to buy on Amazon using the 5 to 8 day free shipping because, you know what? There's nothing that I'm buying on Amazon that's absolutely critical. Like, if it's critical, I'm going to go out and find it locally and buy it there because if I need it, and I want to have it. So George says he's outside smoking the Belas Artes Maduro with a vodka martini. Ooh, very nice. The dentist is tomorrow, calming your nerves. Oh, yeah. Dentist is always a little bit trepidation with the dentist. My dentist, when I was young, used to just outright lie to me. I'd be like, are you going to drill? No drilling today. And then there'd be, this guy's drilling. It's making me upset. Now I'm getting stressed. And Dice says, well, you don't need to check your mail. Well, you know what? It's not that I probably don't need to check my mails. I just don't. Like, as you can see, July, I haven't been to the post office. So all my mail, I have sent to post office box. And this stuff's been there since July. I'm really bad at going to the post. I'm really bad at all of that. I'm bad at email. Like, I don't check email, hardly. Like, if you send me an email to my email address, you get a response back that says, the auto response that says, I'm not really using email. If you sent me something that's really important, text me. I don't put the number there. I just say text me, because if you really know me, then you have my number and you can text me normally. Text me and I'll look for it. So like my accountant, he'll send me like files and he'll send me a text, be like, hey man, you need to check your email. All right, I'll go do that right now. But I've kind of like gotten away from all of that. Like, you know how I know a lot of people like still checking their email? I never check email. I never look at email on my phone anymore. Like, it just doesn't happen anymore. Like for 3-4 years now, I don't do that. Oh, and speaking of which, I just got this notification on Sunday. Like, you guys have iPhones, know this. And maybe they do this on Android, but they have the notifications, right, that tell you your usage. Can I find it? So normally I get these messages from the phone, and it tells me, I don't know how to pull it up. It tells me things like, your usage this week is up by like 800%. Your usage is up by 20%, whatever. Sunday, the phone sends me a message. Your usage this week is down by 60%. I was like, what? 60% down? That's insane. I can't believe that I used it that little. It was crazy. So Brian says that I was showing off my AeroPress. Yeah, I was showing my AeroPress skills, you know, like flexing with the AeroPress. The OG U.S. champion. Yeah, right on. Oh, speaking of champions, I just saw today Manny Pacquiao from the Philippines has fully retired. As of today, he's retired and will no longer be boxing. Instead, he's running for president of the Philippines. And he'll probably win because you know what? I remember one year when I was in Manila, there's this big road that goes through the main part of the city, around the city. It's called the EDSA. It's like everybody drives there. And they had this one skyscraper, right? Maybe like, I don't know, 25 stories, 30 stories, whatever, big. And they had this poster on him about Pacquiao, man, his entire figure on this massive building. It was like 500 feet, like, whoa. People love that guy there, love him. So he'll probably be president. And Brian's having a Mil Diaz with Kirkland water. Oh, excellent, excellent. The Kirkland is a special water. Oh, and speaking of water, so Mark Testa, one of our viewers, and a longtime coffee enthusiast that I've known for many, many years now, him and I were talking the other day, and he's telling me that he's been working on these water formulations for coffee. And he's been trying to explore how to make really great water to really deliver amazing coffee. But one of the things you have to do is you have to find water and you have to strip it, or like you get distilled water, right? You buy distilled water, or they make this device called the zero water. And zero water is kind of like a Brita filter, right? With this filter you insert that you put into it, and you filter your water through it. But it's different from the others. Did I talk about this last week? I don't know. Anyway, you put your water in, and it fully strips all of the mineral content from the water. And I forgot the term for this, but it basically leaves you with the equivalent of distilled water. So all of your mineral content, your TDS, total dissolved solids, are out. And you have very clean and neutral water. And so when he was telling me about that, I was like, that just sounds interesting. So I wrote over to, see, here's the thing. So in those times when I want to have something right away, I try to buy it locally. So wrote over to Walmart, which is closer than Home Depot, so I really wasn't going very far at all. Bought it. There's like $35. And I have it now. I haven't tried it yet. I haven't used it because I still have to look at the water formulations, look at the different like additives that you're going to put into the water, and then try it out. So, and actually, I'll probably make a video about it for the YouTube channel at some point in time. And so Di asked, do you really think Pacquiao will win? Yes, I think he'll win. You know how people are. People are all about popularity contest. It's a popularity contest. Whether you're in the Philippines or whether you're in the United States or any country that has elections, it's really just popularity. So he's got great recognition. I mean, the other alternative right now is a Bongbong Marcos, which is the son of the dictator Ferdinand Marcos. I don't know if you really want a Marcos to come back to power again. But for us, that's neither here nor there. It's not really our business. Reason, Trump put in his boy and Biden has been replaced. Huh? I'm not quite sure I follow you on that one. Trump put in his boy and Biden hasn't replaced. And Di says, reverse osmosis? No, it's not reverse. Reverse osmosis is something a little bit different. Like in the world of coffee, people are very obsessed about water. And like my friend in Florida, he's down in Gainesville. He's got a great little shop called Volta Coffee. And his water there's very, very hard. So within the coffee world, there's like these ideal specifications for water, right? With different types of minerals and all this. And there's a whole like specification for it. And if you want the ideal water, you want your water to fall within these parameters. In places like Florida, New York City, it's really bad. It's really, really way outside. It's really, really hard. So to get that, they have to use these reverse osmosis machines. And reverse osmosis works well, but the problem with reverse osmosis is that you blow a ton of water, like just waste it, right? So you've got your reverse osmosis system, and let's say you've got a gallon of water flowing through it. Maybe you're getting like, what, a quarter gallon out of it? Maybe you're getting a quart, maybe 2 quarts out of that water, and the rest is just being bypassed because it just can't process it fast enough. But that's a completely, it does the same thing, but it is completely different, the methodology. And, yeah. But we'll find out. We'll play with it a little bit. One thing that I've never had to worry about with Spro here in Baltimore is the water. Our water in Baltimore is actually very, very good when thinking about coffee. Like, I test our water fairly regularly, and pretty much every time that I've tested it, it's within the ideal parameters for coffee. There is one parameter, though, that is typically out of alignment. I don't recall which one it was, but it's something like 0.005 parts per million off. And I just decided that just wasn't worth the effort to change. So all we've ever done is filter the water. So typically, like at the Hamden shop, we had a 2-stage filter, charcoal and media, and that was more than enough for Baltimore. And then George says, Manny should have retired 10 years ago. Fantastic fighter in his prime. I think he'll win. I agree. Brian says Manny will win, which reminds me of a story. Like, so in 2008, my friend that has the Aston Martin, it was the end of 2007, and he calls me. He's like, "Hey man, we're gonna go for my birthday. I want you to come join us for my birthday celebration." I was like, "Sure, whatever you want, man. Let me know when." So he's like, "Yeah, come at like in February, early February, or the end of January." He calls me in November of 2007. He said, "In January we're going to have a birthday party." Now him and I are the same age, so 2007 we're turning 30. 2008 we're turning 39. So, it's not a milestone birthday like 40 would be. And actually, for his 40th birthday, he didn't do really anything out of the ordinary. But he calls me, he's like, "So, it's like, my birthday, meet us in Moscow." All right. Now, remember, this guy has a DB5, as a DB6 as one of his cars. So going to Moscow is no big deal. But for me, it's a little bit of a deal. But I'm like, you know what? I might as well go check it out. So I called up one of my friends who's also, we're all friends. I said, "Hey man, you going to his birthday party?" He's like, yeah. He's my friend Jules is based up at the time was in Toronto. And so we make this plan. Now everyone's staying at the Bolshoi Kempinski Hotel, which is across the river from the Kremlin. Like if you look out the door windows, you walk out the door of the Bolshoi Kempinski, and the Kremlin is across the bridge in the river. Like, and if you've ever watched those movies that are at the Kremlin, there's that bridge, right, that crosses the river. Well, that's the bridge going to the Kempinski. So it's $600 a night. So I'm going to fly in on Friday. We're going to fly in Friday and leave Sunday, or Monday, leave Monday. And so I tell my friend, okay, we got to share a room because we really can't afford that kind of thing, right? I mean, really, $600 a night, that's just crazy. But everybody's staying there. So about a week before we leave, my friend in Toronto calls me and says, "Hey, man, I can't go." "Oh, what do you mean you can't go?" It's like, we're supposed to leave like in like 5 days. It's like, I can't go. So I was like, all right, fine. So I'm like, I had to cancel the reservation at the Kempinski. And I get a reservation at the Sheraton, which is under construction. They're renovating the place so that the rates are a lot cheaper. But anyway, forget all that. That's neither here nor there. So we're there, and our hosts, one of our hosts, there are two hosts. One of them is a Paris-based Russian film producer who made French films. And if you know this director by the name of Luc Besson, and Luc Besson did the movies Taxi. His real famous one here in America was The Fifth Element. And this guy gave Luc Besson his start. And his best friend is this guy named Sergei. And Sergei is this old Russian guy, like big Russian guy, right? Old, gray, silver hair, big, like $50,000 wristwatch. Like he's the governor of Siberia, old KGB Kremlin guy, right? And they're our hosts. So along the weekend, we go to this bathhouse, and it's the bathhouse that Putin uses. And we're hanging out at this bathhouse. It was really, the whole trip was amazing. Like, it was ridiculously expensive. And I was like totally like banged out of cash, like within 24, 20, 28, 30 hours. Completely out of cash. I was like totally screwed, right? To the point that on Sunday, I had to feign illness so I didn't go out with everyone because I just couldn't afford it. I was like, I'm completely out of money now. Anyway, so we're at this bathhouse. This is day 2. There's only 3 days, right? So second day, we're at the bathhouse and eating sturgeon and dried sturgeon and vodka and all this kind of stuff. And this is right when Putin's first term was ending. And they were going to have elections in May for president. And Dmitry Medvedev was running for president. And, here I am. I'm the American guy. I'm the only guy from the Western Hemisphere. I'm the only guy from America. The only American, the only guy from the Western Hemisphere. Everybody else is from Asia or Europe. And I'm the naive guy. I'm the guy that's just like, oh, yeah, elections, they're fun, right? Hey, we can all choose our president. And so Sergey and I are talking, and I said to him, hey, man, what do you think about the election? What do you think is going to happen? And this old KGB guy, friend of Putin, like this is Putin's bathhouse. The room that we're using to drink and to party in is Putin's, like the room that Putin uses when he's partying in this bathhouse. So this is stuff you would never see as a tourist, right? This guy, and he's got bullet holes in him, right? He's been shot by like AK-47s. He's been around. He's a tough old Russian KGB guy. He looks at me with this level of incredulity, and just matter of fact, not really like you're a dumb American. He just kind of like looked at me like with that kind of look. When you look at someone, you're like, I don't really understand what you're talking about, kind of thing. Like, and he basically said what Brian said here down below. He looked at me. Medvedev will win. Just exactly what Brian says here. Manny will win. Medvedev will win. There was no discussion. There was no question in his mind. There was no question in his tone. He was just like, this is how it is. This has been decided. And this is what's going to happen. And I was like, oh my gosh. How could I have been so naive? I'm such a Luddite. Good times. And so Tony's saying Monte Cristo Espada Toro. Oh, nice. I haven't tried that. And a Major Melon Mountain Dew Zero. Oh, Major Melon. What is that all about? Major Melon. And what happened to the cherry Diet Pepsi? Speaking of these drinks, was it Scott was asking, or someone was asking about the new Coke Zero in the red in the red box, the red packaging. I just got one. Pretty good, pretty good. Is it different than the Coke Zero in the black can? I don't know. It tastes fine. I didn't pay that attention. I had it today when I was having I was trying this. I got this, I ended up getting these like pizza ovens, right? You know, the old type of ones with the sliding tray. It's electric, little dial, and it slides in. Kind of like what you'd see at like a concession stand or roller rink from the 80s. And so I got one. And I've been like playing around with pizzas lately. And what I mean by playing around with pizzas, I've been like looking at like frozen pizza and trying those. So the last time I did it, our friend Scott was raving about the Screaming Sicilian. Not bad, not bad. So the other day was a Giant. I was looking online. What's the best frozen pizza? And they had like CPK and all these other stuff, but one of the higher rated ones, I think the number 2 one was the Red Baron. So they had a Red Baron, like 4 cheese, quattro formaggi pizza. They call it 4 cheese, they don't call it quattro formaggi. I'm just trying to sound very international. Anyway, so I got it. And you know, one thing that I'm really fascinated about these frozen pizzas, they're frozen and they're in the box. And the freezer that I keep them in, there's no way to keep it flat. Like I'm always obsessed with like, I need to keep the pizza flat, otherwise stuff's gonna fall off. But that never happened. Man, pizza's like all over the place, right? It's all up vertical and like falling over. But on both cases, when I open the pizza, it's all held together very well. So I don't know what they're using to stick it all together, but it all sticks together. So I put it on the rack and I toss it in the oven, crank it up, and so I cook it, right? Oh, and also I did some modifiers, right? I got some bacon that I have frozen. So what I do is I keep par cooked bacon in the freezer. So I'll get the bacon, bake it off, then freeze it. Then as I need to use it, it's almost fully finished, so I just kind of cook it a little bit more and use. So I can use omelets or whatever I want to use. So I had that and had some bell peppers. Put those on the topping and started baking it. And you know, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not great pizza. It's not like Neapolitan style pizza from the pizza oven. It's not like that. It's frozen pizza. But what I'm really fascinated by is when you cook it on a wire rack, which this oven does, and you do it really kind of long, it really crisps the crust. Like the crust is crunchy, which I really dig. But I'm really amazed that all of it is crunchy and how crunchy it is. Like it's almost unnaturally crunchy. Like it makes me wonder, like how have they treated this pizza? With what kind of chemicals have they treated this pizza so it's always crunchy? So Tony says watermelon flavored Mountain Dew and the Espada is made by Plasencia. Oh, comma and the Espada. I was like, really? Diet Cherry Pepsi is getting hard to find. That's because of COVID. But watermelon flavored Mountain, that actually sounds kind of interesting to me. I love watermelon. And Tony says the Hall's pizza of choice is Red Baron. Oh, yeah, Red Baron is pretty good. It's pretty good. Like I get the knife and I cut it and it's all crunchy. It's all crunchy. Not bad. Oh, by the way, speaking of which, I was talking about the bacon, right? Normally I go to Binkert's, which is this German butchery here in just outside of Baltimore City. And they do all kinds of traditional German stuff. Like they're so German, they're kind of curt and short, and they're like, I kind of wonder, like, do they hate me? But you know, they're always kind of nice. but they do all traditional German butchery, right? So they do my favorite sausage. They do all kinds of sausage. Nürnberger, which I love. Weisswurst, Bratwurst, any kind of wurst. They also do this one called the Baronwurst, which is my personal favorite. Baronwurst and Nürnberger, which are my favorites. And then there's the dried one called the Landjäger. Love that stuff, right? But they also make bacon, and their bacon is really, really good. Like, I've been eating this bacon now for quite a number of years. But recently I came, I had this bacon that was given to me, and so I decided I want to use it. And it's Hormel bacon. Hormel thick-cut bacon. I never imagined that I would say this, but that bacon, this bacon is rubbish. Rubbish. It's got a weird, funky flavor to it. Even though it's thicker cut than the regular bacon, it's like thin. And then when you cook it, when you bake it off, it still has this weird, like, yellowish color to it. It just looks unappetizing. And then I keep them all in a container, right? Stacked in a container in the freezer. And with the binkers, it's thick enough that you pull it off, and this one is like breaking apart. Oh man, it's a mess. So I had a 3-pound pack of that. I got one more 3-pound, so I had 6 pounds total. So now I'm just kind of going through it. All right, this thing has gone out, which is very, very, very distressing. We're going to use Cirillo method to relight. And look, it's even uneven in the burn. This thing, I've been battling this the whole night. It's really disappointing. It's a shame. It's a shame. It didn't really hit any of the flavor notes noted in the paper, which is supposed to be leather, earth, coffee. I mean, maybe there's some leather, maybe earthiness, but with that whole, like, barnyardy. It's been a struggle. Actually, I'm at a point now with the cigar where it's like with that Tatuaje number 5 that I had the other night. That was like, I'm no longer smoking it I'm just kind of going through it. And Di says, it's better than Chuck E. Cheese. Oh. Did Chuck E. Cheese have frozen? Or is that, you're talking about Chuck E. Cheese at the restaurant? I have not had Chuck E. Cheese pizza in probably over 20 years, maybe 25 years. Maybe close to 30, maybe since the 80s. Or at least the early 90s. One pizza I do like is there's a place in Hampton called Paulie G's, and they do this Neapolitan-style pizza in the wood-fired oven. And one of them has like these really, really thin slices of lemon with like a spicy honey. Man, that is good pizza. That one I really like. The problem with like Paulie G's is sometimes they fire it long enough and sometimes they don't. So sometimes the pizza crust comes out really nicely cooked and fully cooked all the way through, and it's beautiful. Other times the crust is still soggy and you're just like a bit disappointed. They recently, though, decided to do New York-style pizza, getting those gas-fired deck ovens. And we went there for dinner a couple months ago, and they were pretty good. They were pretty good. We did these heavy-duty pepperoni. Kind of fun. Worth more exploration, I think. Ooh, that coffee's, this Hurricane Wash is definitely solid. So Brian says, Paulie G's spicy honey with lemon is, oh yeah, that's such a good one. We're going to have to make that at your house. Speaking of which, when are we going to make it at your house? Please don't say Saturday. I'll be down in Virginia on Saturday shooting a new video. I've talked to my guy who does the shoe repair, Steve Badukian, who owns Beato's Leatherworks in Falls Church, Virginia. And I've been talking to him before about doing like this video about coffee, cigars, and shoes, because he's a cigar smoker as well. He enjoys La Gloria Cubana Series R. So I called him up and said, "Hey man," this is like 6 months ago. I said, "Hey man, I want to do a video." He said, "Cool. I'll let you know I can come down." So I finally called him last week. I said, "Hey man, can you do next Saturday?" "Yeah man." All right, good. Here we go. Gotcha. Spicy. All right, let's do some more coffee here. This must be good coffee because, I don't normally finish a lot of it during the show. Yes, if we could do Sunday, like early Sunday. I hate to put all these requests. Sorry about that. Only because like it's my sister-in-law's birthday, so we're doing an early dinner. Maybe lunch, pizza lunch. That'd be awesome. Or if not, next week, we'll have to wait. Yeah, I've reached that point where I'm just trying to finish it, right? Like I don't want to waste it. Like if I was to put it down, you feel like you're wasting the cigar. But you're not really enjoying it anymore. You're just kind of going through it just to get through it. That's where I am at the moment. Which is a shame to say because, I like what Eduardo Fernandez is doing down at Aganorsa and Paul Palmer and everybody. I love what they're doing. But this one is just not hitting it, man. Just a lot of struggling. The burn issues, drawing was difficult at times. The way that it burned, the way that it burned out, the way that it kind of like got really hot and like the flavor just wasn't, maybe the flavor just not to my palate, But that's all right. That's the thing that's what I kind of like about this kind of deal, this whole like, the idea of this is that it gives you the opportunity to try different cigars that you may not try on your own. And, typically I don't. Had it been not for this show, I probably wouldn't have tried half of the cigars that we've smoked over the last year plus on the show. So I think it's a good thing to do to get these to join this kind of membership. I like it because you can just try different stuff. And what I like about it is that you can try different things without necessarily having to think too much about it. Like, you go to the store, cigar shop, and you're like looking around, you're thinking, well, should I try this one? Should I try this one? Does that band look nice? Does that box look nice? That box looks ugly. I'm not going to buy that. But maybe it's going to be good, Or you look at the price point, it's too much money, it's too little money, it's too this, too that. This one, you're paying a base rate, $26 with shipping. You get 4 cigars. You don't have a choice. You just get it. There's a little bit of taste, it's about it, a little bit of knowledge. And you smoke. And maybe you like it, maybe you hate it. Like I said, from last month in August, I liked the 2 of them. I didn't like the other 2. C'est la vie, c'est la vie. But I think and I think this is true whether cigars or coffee or any kind of thing that you're really into, whether it's wines, whiskeys, food even, is that the greater depth that the greater breadth that you get, that you experience, the greater the depth of your knowledge, the greater depth of your understanding, especially if you're paying attention, right? Like you could be smoking all these and just not be paying attention. But I think if you pay attention to what you're tasting and how you're tasting it and what you're experiencing, then I think you get a lot more out of it. And it helps you to build. Like people always ask me, like people, when it comes to coffee, people will say to me, hey, excuse me. People say to me things like, we'll be tasting coffee or cupping coffee, and they're like, well, I can never taste like you. And I was like, well, I disagree with that. I think people can. I think anyone can taste like I do and discern the flavors and nuances that I am able to now, because it just takes time. It just takes time of thinking of what you're tasting. And I think that applies, like when I'm teaching people about tasting for coffee, I always tell them, as you're tasting anything, food, drink, anything you're tasting, think about it. How would you describe that? And over time, that helps you to develop your own vocabulary of descriptions. Do the tequila technique next week. Oh, that's right. That's what I was supposed to do this week. I was thinking, that totally slipped my mind since last week. All right, I got to find a cigar for that. Actually, that's one thing. Part of the reason we went this direction is that, like I said in last week's show, the Cloud Hopper 45 was the last one that I had in the lineup, and I hadn't had the chance this week to go to Raoul's, but I had the Privada packet just arrived, so I thought, oh, let's do that one. So I have to I'll be there tomorrow because I have to go out that way for deliveries. So I'll be there to pick up cigars there, and we'll plan out the next few weeks of the show that way. What do you think? Should it be a cigar for the tequila technique? Should it be a cigar that has a distinct flavor profile, or one that's a lot more generic, where the alcohol can take more of the center stage with less competition from the tobacco blend? Or maybe I should bathe it in coffee. Or maybe coffee liqueur. Arnold said it didn't matter. Yeah, but what does Arnold know? But what do you guys think? I don't know. Di says, maybe do with a revenge. Man, that is... I'm kind of against that. Only because I enjoy the Revenges so much. Well, maybe that's a good reason to try it. But should it be tequila? Just because Arnold did it. So in the early to mid 90s, when I was still living in Hawaii and relatively new to cigars, I started in 92. My friends and I would go out every once in a while, and we would do something very similar to what he did with the tequila. And what we would do, we wouldn't do the brushing part. That seems absurd. I never thought about it. We would take the cigar and dip it in port wine. And I don't know how, in my circles back then, that was kind of well known. I heard from other people this past week, it's like, they've never done that. And these are guys that have smoked just as long as I have. And I'm like, really? You never done that before? I was like, is that sure? Is that possible? It was really kind of popular when I was younger in cigars. Rusty says, did you see the Davidoff Chef's Edition 2021? Just released, $39 per stick. You should, $39. Maybe I will. Is there any good chefs out there that are any notable chefs that you think, Rusty? Brian says he bought one. It was kind of meh. But he does like the coffee idea. I do have this liqueur this liqueur derived from Ethiopian coffee. Where did I get it from? I think I got it as a gift from someone. Maybe we'll do that. That could be something. Rum soaker. Could be rum. Could be rum. We like the port wine because port had that nice ruby, yes, character, that nice sweetness to it. I thought that was really complimentary back then to the cigar. I haven't done that. Oh gosh, maybe over 20 years now. Di says maybe Tony can do that with the Mountain Dew. Or the Cherry Pepsi. That would be good. And what was the question? Do you remember which chefs were on the selection? And then Rusty says that, Brian, I'm on the fence because if I buy, I need to get more than one for now and one to age. Let's have a look at this Davidoff Chef series. Davidoff Chef Edition 2021. Oh, where are you? Here we are. Oh. Each limited edition cigar has a story. These stories require only the best tobacco, so only limited amounts are produced. All right, where is the Chef's Edition? Year of the Ox. Anyone tried that Year of the Ox? Oh, look at this. Davidoff Tour Gastronomique 2010. Oh, there it is. Davidoff Chef's Edition 2021 Churchill Cigar. The gastronomy sector is closely linked to the indulgence one can find in a Davidoff cigar. The art of blending, the craftsmanship, artisany, and effort that goes into the creation of taste experience are the most important virtues among both handcrafted premium cigar and the premium gastronomy world. This year's third limited edition links our master blenders' competence to those of the chosen chefs. The third installment represents the common approach between pure ingredients, local sourcing, and sustainability. Translating these methods in the cigars results in using a high percentage of native Dominican tobaccos. Well, I hope so, because that's the only native tobacco for you. I mean, local tobacco. Grown in our own fields. Using the same approaches in the design results in an innovative and multiple-use packaging found in this year's Chef's Edition. Tasting notes. Already at the beginning, a thick creaminess with subtle spiciness. Oh yeah, that's floral creamy. Yes, but who are the chefs? Let's see. Oh, look at that. Oh, nice box. Oh, and that Davidoff. There's that Davidoff ashtray that they had at the lounge. That was some sexy ashtray. Oh, this is a bit. Oh, these are like Churchill size ashtrays. The other ones were like more rectangular shape rather than square. Chef's Edition. But what are the chefs? And how do they chefs impact the flavor? Oh, Bercy says he knows one is masa. It's their scroll. And it's there, scroll up. I am up. Oh, look, it comes with a little like tasting tray. Oh, that's very cute. Gosh, Brian, if I bought one of these for $390, we'd almost be at the $460 to do the Davidoff dinner with Chad Goss at Tobacco Leaf. All right, it doesn't say anything, Rusty, sorry. Ecuador Hybrid 238, Mexican binder, Negro San Andres Seco. The filter is Piloto Seco from the Dominican with San Vicente Ligero, Piloto Visus, and Hybrid 192 Seco. Brian said it's a cutting board, but is it a cutting board? It looks like a. It looks like a tasting tray. And Brian says, I expect to see yes, I agree with you on that. I really wanted to see like what chef, where's the, oh no. Okay, let's see what Half Wheel has to say. Chef's Edition 21 7x48 Churchill uses an Ecuadorian hybrid 238 wrapper, blah, 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 blah. As it has done in the past, Davidoff developed the blend with a variety of high-profile chefs. Oh, so I guess all 4 chefs gave their input on the cigar, so it's only one for all of them. So Juan Amador of Amador in Vienna, Norbert Niedkofler in Alpine in Brunico, Italy, Masa Takayama of Masa, New York, Jorge Vallejo of Quintonil in Mexico. Oh, Quintonil is a nice restaurant. Both Masa and Quintonil are very good. I've not been to Quintonil yet. The first 3 of those chefs have each earned 3 Michelin stars. I think that's because the Guide Michelin hasn't put. I don't think they've done a guide for Mexico City, because even like Enrique Oliveira from Pujol has not received any stars, and he's probably the one that would receive 3 of everyone in Mexico City. Actually, Mexico City is really interesting. Like, everyone knows that Mexico City is really great for gastronomy and food and all that, both on the common level and on the highest level. But the thing that I really enjoyed about Mexico City was that you could go to these restaurants, these really, really amazing multi-course tasting menus, like full-on gastronomia kind of restaurants. And for American dollars, it'd be relatively cheap. Like, I used to go to these places like Pujol and Bico, which were 2 of the big ones a while back. And it was like $100 a person, which in Mexico is a lot of money. In American dollars, not too bad. But these were similar meals that you would go to, like, let's say Alinea or Per Se or a French Laundry, and you'd spend $300 and up per person. So, pretty good. Brian says, marketing. Turn the tasting tray over and cutting board with little feet. Oh, nice, nice. 4 chefs agreed on the same blend. I got a couple. I think it's one of those things where it's like they gave their input, but what I really want to see is like, and I agree with you, Brian, I think, is that, you're talking about these 4 chefs, right? Amador in Vienna, Alpine, Masa, Quintonil. I mean, these are 4 restaurants, 4 chefs providing completely different cuisines. I mean, completely different experiences. And are they going to all agree on like one blend to represent themselves? I think I would be much more excited if they had their own cigar, like one that they developed for each of those chefs. And like, let's say you did a box of 12 instead of 10, and you gave 3 of each. I think that would be really, really exciting. Much more exciting than this. And Rusty says they probably asked the chefs with multiple Michelin stars if they smoke cigars. First 4 represent this. Well, according to George Brightman, I was talking to him the other week about this, and I was like, I really would like to see if Thomas Keller had one. And he was like, yeah, Thomas did one several years ago. And I was like, really? I was like, I don't even think he was a cigar guy. And evidently Thomas Keller is a cigar guy. Actually, I wonder if he had. My cigar has gone out again. Oh, so much struggle. Let's see. Davidoff Chef's Edition. Thomas Keller. Davidoff Chef's Edition 50th anniversary is released. 2018. Oh, see, there he is. There's Thomas smoking a cigar. The fashionable chef that he is. All right, let me relight. I have to say, this has been a struggle. This cigar has been a struggle tonight. All right, let's see here. To celebrate the 50th anniversary of the now iconic Davidoff White Band, $300 for a box of 10. What you'll find inside a 6x54 Toro, blah, blah, blah. To create this medium-bodied masterpiece, Davidoff enlisted talents of 5 of the world's most celebrated chefs, all of whom were cigar smokers. Thomas Keller, Alvin Lung from Bow Innovation in Hong Kong, Klaus Erfurt from Gasthaus in Saarbrücken. Oh, I wonder if I've been there. Next time I go see Sully, I'll have to go and check it out. Heiko Nader from the restaurant in Zurich, and Sean Rankin from Ormer Mayfair in London. So I guess it follows in the same vein as here. It looks like in this one they also kind of blended together. What do they say about his? The not only body influences from the Dominican Republic, but also from the home countries of the chefs: Germany, Switzerland, United States, Great Britain, and Hong Kong. Licorice, oakwood, Szechuan pepper, and leather. Szechuan pepper, come on now, really? Give way to more pronounced and tentative coffee, cumin, and creamy chocolate. Szechuan pepper and cumin, really? Come on now. Spicy sweet undertones, gentle end notes of eucalyptus. I would be interested to at least try one. But that's really only because I'm a Keller fanboy. I don't know, maybe. Maybe we'll do it. Actually, right now, this cigar is a little bit better. A little bit sweet. Rusty wonders if any of the 2018s, it still exists. Somebody has them somewhere, for sure. I wonder if you went to Davidoff, if you could ask them. So Hansel and Tony, if you're still with us, next time you go down to Davidoff, ask them, hey, do you still have those 2018 Chef's Editions? Well, I guess we're at that point. We should be asking that same question. Would I buy it again? Probably not. Probably not. This has been a struggle. It's been a difficult cigar. A good cigar to give you the breadth of experience, but one that was very difficult to work with. Didn't really have too much on my palate. Not quite what I'm used to coming from Aganorsa. Does it turn you off from getting the 4-pack? No, not at all, not at all. I think that the 4-pack comes every month, and my understanding is that every month the cigars from the 4-pack will change because they're coming from different manufacturers. So no, not at all. I think that the value in this kind of pack is that you get to try different cigars. You get to try things that are not you normally would get, or not what you normally would choose, and you're getting them at a decent price point. At 4 cigars at $26, it's $6. Just over $6, $6.20, $6.50, right? Each, which is compared to when you buy cigars at the store, it's hard to find a nice cigar now for $6.50. Rusty's asking, this was from September Farm Rolled? Yes. This is the #1 cigar from the Farm Rolled. The one with the Corojo 99 wrapper. The TABSA 99 550. But yeah, Rusty, you try it and let me know what you think. I'd be interested to know how this turns out for you. Tony says he smoked a bundle of the Farm Road Habano Lonsdales that were spectacular. So if you have to look at some of the individuals and buy them if you like them. You had the Farm Pack too? Habano Lonsdales? Yeah, I think that, I do believe, let's have a look at that. I do believe with the Privada, I do believe, I know for the regular series, the regular monthly, I believe that there is a way to, let's see, shop. You can buy, I think all of the cigars that they have in for offer were also part of their package, although I don't know if the farm bundles, oh. So here we have Connecticut bundle, Maduro bundle, Habano bundle. Let's look at the Maduro one. I don't know if this is, when they say the five bundles, when they say the bundles, I don't know if that means that this bundle is the current month. I'm not clear on that. Oh, here, March 11th. This is better than, oh no, so March 11th. These are maybe, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. How about experiences? Dinner with Matt Booth, dinner with Espinoza. Wow, $600 for dinner with Matt Booth and Espinoza. Oof. Well, actually, let's see. What do you get with that? Let's see if you go with dinner with Eric Espinoza. Dinner with an experienced millionaire. $200 of the dollars proceeds going to feeding families in need. Should you find yourself in Miami having a meal and cigars with the legendary Eric Espinoza, 100 of your meal is paid for. Oh, okay. I need to do that. So Tony says, it was a separate order sheet and order page that my friend found. I don't know how they do it. Yeah, I'm not sure either, to be honest with you. And Rusty says, so I just got, yes, this is the one from the pack you just got a couple days ago. Same thing. And regular production, what does that mean? Let's see. I think these are the ones that come in the normal pack, the non-farm rolled. Ezra Zion black ice cream. Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, Ave Maria. That's a good one for Bud. And then some rare cigars. Yeah, so I would say that despite this cigar not being to my liking, it does not turn me off from the pack membership. I think the pack membership is definitely very worthwhile. And yeah, it's a good way to try a range of cigars that you may not have access to. With the farm roll, they don't really say much about the cigars, so I don't really know if there are any kind of production cigars, or maybe they're cigars that are actually released under a different brand or different name. Because, Aganorsa makes cigars, or the TABSA factory makes cigars for a wide range of brands. But my understanding is that it's a little bit better of a deal than the regular one. So, like, for example, the monthly subscription, the monthly box is $26.99 with $5 or so for the shipping. So it's about $31 shipped. And it looks like here they give you 3 cigars, and they're labeled and they're identified probably a little bit more than the farm ones. But you pay more and you get less cigars. So I think the farm rolled is probably definitely the better buy. All right, that's enough of this cigar. That was the Privada farm rolled TABSA Corojo 99 5x50 Robusto. Was hoping for something better. At least it's offset by the beautiful. Oh, where's my? By the beautiful Hurricane coffee from Rusty's Hawaiian Ka'u in Ka'u, Hawaii. So, you know, if you want some of that, we still have some. Just come to the website, sprocoffee.com. And if you're watching from on the replay, drop us comments in below. I guess that should do it for tonight. It's already 10:10, so we're a little bit over time, but thank you very much for tuning in. I really appreciate you spending the time with us. Next week, we'll have a whole nother range of cigars. Maybe we'll do that tequila dipping kind of thing, the Arnold way. I'll have to think about which way we're going to go as far as the alcohol of the week for that. But other than that, yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. Really appreciate you spending another Thursday night here with me. We'll be back again next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We're still in Daylight Time. We've still got another, month to go with the Daylight Time? Yeah. All right. So thank you very much for tuning in, and see you next time.